So ahead of next week's sentencing, James Patterson and Vicky Ward discussed their new book about the murders. It's based on hundreds of interviews surrounding this case. And in this book, they reveal new details and attempt to lift the veil of secrecy that has shrouded this case for more than 2 years. This morning, new revelations from those closest to Madison Mogen, Kaylee Gonzalez, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin about what they believe was the motive behind Bryan Kohberger's brutal murders of the 4 University of Idaho students.
For people who have followed this story, we wanted to give them closure.
Best-selling author James Patterson and investigative reporter Vicky Ward teaming up for the new book, The Idaho4, An American Tragedy, conducting over 300 interviews with people with ties to the case, including family and friends who believe Maddie was the target.
There was consensus that it was Maddie that Kohberger was going for, and the victims' families, I think, would all agree with that. You know, everything points to that.
Moscow police allege the culprit's cell phone records show his phone appears to have been close to the King Road house on at least 12 occasions between August and the night of the murders in November, almost always late at night. The book also describing what it calls a recurring nightmare of a close friend, Emily Allant, after the murders, saying she imagined that the now convicted murderer went to the restaurant where Maddie worked, expressed a romantic interest in her, and was rejected. He then retaliated. You wrote about this recurring dream that Emily Allant was having, that in her dream, Bryan Kohberger met Maddie at the Mad Greek, where we know that she worked with Xana. Tell me a little bit about how she explained that dream to you and how you put it into writing.
When they are told that the guy who murdered their friends is this guy, Bryan Kohberger, they don't recognize his photo.
Right, a total stranger.
They can't put it together. That's when Emily said the only explanation that she and Hunter could come up with is the story that, you know, we tell as the story of her dream, that Bryan Kohberger targeted Maddie, and that, you know, she doesn't know the exact details, but that's her best guess.
Lead prosecutor Bill Thompson says Maddie was the first person the culprit killed. The knife sheath with his DNA found under her body.
Kohberger, the criminologist, had such training for this, and he almost committed the perfect crime. Had he not left the knife sheath, he probably wouldn't have got caught.
For nearly 7 weeks, he hid in plain sight, one of the only sources